Well, welcome everyone to Money and Meaning, Kinder Institute of Life Planning's blog, where we tell the stories of registered life planner professionals from around the globe. I'm Lora Woodward, Chief Operating Officer for Kinder Institute, and this is our I'm a Registered Life Planner series. Today, I'm thrilled to be joined by Sebastian Jersch, CEO of NeoConsult in Marburg, Germany. Welcome, Sebastian.
Hello to everyone. I'm very thankful for you having me here. Thank you.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Happy to have you. So let's start by hearing a little bit of your backstory. How did you get into financial services?
I grew up in East Germany in a society that was not known for its freedom of speech or belief. And you had to be very cautious about what you said. You were told what to watch, you were told what to read, and you weren't allowed to travel to Western countries. And at the age of 7, I was put to school, and I automatically became part of this political association for children, the Pioneers. I had to go to their meetings, I had to wear their uniform, and so you were systematically indoctrinated in conformity with the system in a world of exclusion. Unlike many of my friends, my parents also believed in God. So they took me to the church where I went to religious classes. For us, a place of security amongst like-minded people. Of course, in a Marxist-Leninist state, religion was considered as opium of the people. Hence, there was this ongoing conflict between the social conventions and the convictions and values I learned at home. And I was able to keep this world separate, and this was no problem until one day, when I was 9 years old, 2 events overlapped, and for the first time, I was forced to make a tough choice. I could either go to the Pioneer meeting or the religious class, but not both. And the next morning, when I was going to school, my teacher, Mrs. Bayer, says, "Sebastian, first, I'd like you to come here." I go to the front of the class. I don't know why. "How is it you presume to be the only one that is not joining our Pioneer meeting? Do you think you are better than everybody else? And by the way, how can a smart boy like you still believe in something like a God? Explain yourself." I remember my hands getting cold, the blood rushing through my veins, my head pounding, and this fury that she was parading me. I see her mouth is moving. I know she's yelling at me, but I wasn't even there. That was the moment where everything changed for me. I decided nobody was ever going to have control over my life. And from then on, I was the kid that was saying no. So I found myself at the forefront of saying no and standing up more times than other people. And I pushed it as far as I could push it. And I could keep hearing my teacher's warnings, "Sebastian, don't be so stubborn. Think of your future. Why don't you just do and go where you're supposed to, like everybody else, and make it easy for you?" No, it wasn't easy. 6 years later, 9th of November, 1989, the wall came down, and suddenly things shifted for me. So I no longer had to battle my way through that system. Today, I'm an entrepreneur, and I work for myself as independent financial advisor. I cannot possibly be constrained by some other business. But you and I know, even in today's world, we are confronted with so many other forms of dependencies, aren't we? And this applies not least to the financial system, to banks and insurance companies, to a system that exercises just as much power and tries to control people. So I see it as my mission to stand up for others, to navigate my clients through this system, to help them to become independent and to maintain control of their financial freedom. And that's basically, I think we all need and we all deserve to be independent. But this valuable condition doesn't come on its own. And we have to do something to gain it. Sometimes we have to battle for it. So when I look back, what I learned at 9 years old turned out to be the most important lesson I ever had. Independence is a choice.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. That's really, really heartfelt. Thank you. You began coursework in 2018 and became a registered life planner in 2020, the first RLP designee in Germany, but certainly there are more that have already come through the training program. So what initially drew you to Kinder Institute's training curriculum?
Due to the lack of political willpower here in Germany, the financial industry is still more driven by product selling than giving real advice to clients. Around 2012, I felt kind of stuck with my own business model. Honestly, I was fed up with being mistaken for a product salesman, knowing how effective and helpful real financial planning can be. And so I set out and through many fortunate circumstances, I came into a circle of successful wealth manager. I took a business coaching for wealth managers where I got together 2 times a year with the best of the best in San Francisco, California, to work on the most successful strategies on how to achieve a better client experience. CG Worldwide, some of our listeners might be familiar with that. At one of the conferences, I came across a book by George Kinder for the first time, Life Planning for You. And during this time, I was still very busy repositioning my company technically, but the idea that financial planning had to be life planning seemed plausible to me even then. And the final nudge came from a conversation with Jamie, a very good friend of mine, wealth manager from Scotland, and even at that time already registered life planner, who told me, there's one thing that captivated me and that I have completed, and that is the training to become a registered life planner. And I wished I had done it 15 years ago. I would have been such a better advisor for my clients, such a better father, and such a better husband. That struck me.
Well, yeah. And we hear that from advisors who take our training, that really they wish they had taken it so much earlier in their career. So what does financial life planning mean to you?
In fact, financial life planning is what I do today, is what has given shape to my company, what holds my team together, what makes our clients feel that our work puts them at the center. Actually, life planning was a transformation for myself, for my identity as an advisor. And it even gave shape to my future. After all, the training to become a registered life planner means that everyone develops their own life plan. Those who are willing to see and process the profound message will inevitably perceive this change in themselves. And we will also be able to help other people to find the energy to shape their lives according to their own wishes. And the wonderful thing about life planning is that it is not a complicated technique that you have to learn to use, but it is a return to a language that is given to all of us and that can therefore rediscover.
Wow, I love that. That's beautiful. And so you encouraged your entire senior leadership team to attend the registered life planner designation training. So everyone on your senior leadership team is a registered life planner professional. So how has that shifted how NeoConsult works with their customers?
First of all, it is wonderful to experience the energy that arises between like-minded people. Each of our consultants lives that professional ethic in himself. And instead of advertising with life planning, it is much more appealing to simply do it and exercise the wonderful conspiracy when the insiders, so we as consultants, when we know how the success of our clients comes about. The only important thing for us is that each client has an homogeneous consulting experience and somehow feels the same energy, no matter which consultant is he currently working with. And of course, it makes me proud to hear from time to time that unique people have come together in our company.
Wow. And so what would be a client success story that you're willing to share that kind of showcases the value of utilizing the life planning model with clients?
Antje, a good friend of mine, and my wife, Agnes, and the midwife of our third daughter, Helene. approached me at some point in her life because she wanted to break out of a stressful everyday hospital life. And we decided to go through the life planning process together. And anyone who has ever been faced with a decision to become self-employed will be able to understand how difficult this decision is between apparent security as an employee and the responsibility and certainty of self-employment. Just today, we had our ongoing checkup meeting, and today we see not only a founder of a practice, but someone who energetically shapes her own future for herself and others, because in the meantime, she has 2 more requests to expand her practice, so that in the foreseeable future, 4 people, meanwhile, may have gathered around the original cell of the individual practice, which is now growing and growing. And it's just wonderful to see the enthusiasm that people develop when they not only see their potential, but also find the strength to exploit and shape that potential.
Wow, that's a fantastic story. And so you mentioned earlier that as a registered life planner, you too have a life plan. It's part of our curriculum that you gain a life plan as part of the Evoke life planning training. So what shifted for you in your life after going through that process?
Yeah, as I already mentioned earlier, it of course had a deep impact on myself as well. And it has given me the clarity of what is really important to me, what I want to achieve. And it also has given me the energy to go my own way to this day.
Yeah. And so what's next for you in your own life planning journey?
Finally, to be honest, there is no next point for me, no ticking off, if you will. I can see that I myself am happy to be on a journey where I may soon see the birth and success of another small business in which I am involved. We plan to go to market with a financial planning tool, and of course hope to be able to give professional advisors the support they expect from technology. But I feel it is more important that my regular Neigong practice, which I do regularly, my training gives me the strength and energy to be able to go on my way with joy and health for as long as possible, and that I can continue to follow the growing up and development of my 3 daughters with joy. And basically, that's it.
Wow. Wow. Well, I want that for you. That sounds incredible. Yeah. What's your vision for how life planning can be part of the financial planning profession in Germany?
First of all, I hope that we are not only will be remaining 12 people here in Germany. And if there's one advice I'd like to give for young planners who are starting the life planning journey, that would be stay tuned and learn to be comfortable with seemingly uncomfortable things and play the pause. You know, we live in a noisy world and everybody tries to convince us of something. We live in a world with an overload of information. But in fact, clients, and so we as well, do not need more noise or more information. In regards to their financial affairs, it's a common theme that people seek peace of mind. But peace of mind doesn't come with the selling of another financial instrument, but through real interaction with human beings. And that takes another approach. Not many people know that before I started my career as financial planner, I used to work as a professional musician in classical orchestras. And in my later studies, I remember turning up for one lesson after having practiced over the last weeks like mad to overcome a technical issue. I felt I made a great progress, so I was so excited to present it to my teacher. And I picked up the instrument and I started to play the piece of music. My teacher these days, Robert, just glared at me, slightly irritated, and he just comments, "It sounds so boring. Give me a break. What am I doing here? Could you do me just a favor and would you please stop playing the damn notes?" what? I still cannot really grasp what he just said. And he goes, you have to play the break. You have to play the silence. In that moment, it didn't really make sense for me. I was just so frustrated. And I even kind of refused to listen to what he said, being so disappointed. And it took me a while to really understand what he meant by that. But years after, I realized this was a critical insight that stuck with me for the rest of my life. Without silence, there's no sound. Moreover, silence is the source of all sounds, of all music. So if you don't give the break a sense or a meaning, you won't feel the meaning of the notes. And so the piece is more of a pure succession of notes than real music. In fact, we all need to play the pause in our life. And we have to look for those moments where there is silence in order to create the music of our lives. And life planning is the most elegant and effective way to do exactly that for ourselves and our clients.
Wow, that was beautiful. Thank you. You're full of so much wisdom, Sebastian. This has been an absolute pleasure to be able to talk with you today. Anything else that you'd like to share with our audience?
In fact, to come back to the point, what would be the vision for life planning in Germany? If we take all our advisors at NeoConsult together and realize how few people we can actually reach in life, it is not only logical that if more people adopt this form of communication, we can achieve much more together. And I'm glad that we have already been able to complete 2 training courses here in Germany. But I think we have another 500,000 advisors, potential advisors, who need to hear about it. So let's do it. In the end, the aim is not only to show consultants in Germany an alternative perspective on how they can successfully provide their consulting services, but also that the clients, the people who need our help, also have the chance to experience it in this way. And so I'd like at this point to thank Jersch for his inspiration, for his groundbreaking work that we call today life planning. I'd like to thank Louis Vollebrecht for his passion to bring this message about and his profound insights that helped me personally to become a better advisor. And thanks to everyone who adopts this art of communication to the well-being of others.
Thank you.